you may feel no need to change your status or way of working, and there's absolutely no obligation for you to go through a formal process, just as there's no formal obligation to go through accreditation. And we don't see that there'd be a disadvantage if you chose not to go through any formal process. You can still practice the Column B competencies that you're currently trained and or experienced to work with. So that is, even if you do formally, if you like, stay in Column A, it doesn't mean you can't practice those competencies that you're able to. So if you previously felt that accreditation will actually be of any benefit to you individually, then SCoPEd's not going to change that. But for those of you who might want to evidence and be recognised for all the onward training and skills and experience that you've accrued over time, we will be developing mechanisms and putting in support to enable you to go through that process. So at the moment, we're having some quite general discussions about what those mechanisms might look like. We want them to be effective, robust mechanisms that will enable members to formally evidence the competence they've attained since qualifying. Again, just to emphasise, if they choose to do so. And as soon as we're able to, we'll publish this for members to have a look at as soon as we can. I know it must feel frustrating. I know that you want some more detail, but there's still a lot of work to be done. And of course, what we really need to be able to come up with any kind of draft of what the schemes might look like is we need a final framework, because at the moment, we haven't got an absolute final scope framework. So we need that before we can be certain about what the mechanisms and support will be. But just to say that they will be soundly underpinned. That's the point of the framework. They need to be robust to ensure standards. We also need to have something that is agreed and respected by all the partners involved in the project, as they will also need to have as well, because that's what shared standards are about. So, as is now, knowing your areas of competence and being able to articulate this is what actually matters most. If you have the confidence that you're competent in all of the areas in one of the columns, you don't need to go through a formal process to be officially mapped by BACP. If you felt it would be beneficial to go through a process like that, to have that formally acknowledged, this would be entirely up to you.